Amigos, welcome one, welcome all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Bon Radio.
And right now it's time for liftoff. 10, 9, oh wait, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on.
Liftoff.
I need your help, guys. Let's get this sucker off the ground. Come on. Let's go. Get up there.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap
Oh,
on your
yeah.
seatbelt. Fasten your
Now we're
seatbelt.
talking.
Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name. Let's go.
That's right, folks. Welcome aboard. It's time for another exciting English class. It's the show with no name. And man, am I excited. I love being here with you guys. I got to be honest with you. I really enjoy our time together every day. So thank you for bringing the magic every single day. That applause is for you guys. Those of you who are here every day, live, and those of you who can't be here live, well, guess what? That applause is for you. For all the show with no namers around the world. It's amazing, guys. Vaughn Radio has listeners on every single continent and some of the most amazing places on my bucket list. Your bucket list es la lista de cosas que tienes que hacer o que quieres hacer antes de palmarla. Right? Before you kick the bucket. Comes from the Wild West. That's right, from Almeria. Hey, that's the Wild West too. Well, this show is wild. You can expect anything and everything. It's the show with no name, and I hope you guys are warmed up. I know you guys were with my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses. He is the guy who trained me. It's an honor to follow Fitz. In fact, I'll teach you an expression. He's a hard act to follow. Es tan bueno que en el escenario nadie quiere ir delante de él, right? Nobody, an act, un acto, una presentación, a performance. He's a hard act to follow. And that's Fitz and his program, No Excuses. And folks, just a couple reminders. We've got a lot of things going on in the Vaughn sphere, La Esfera Vaughan, starting with Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Mark your calendars. Come on. This month, it's April 12th, 8:30 p.m. Get there at 8. Trust me. It's at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. Hosted by my good buddy, Juan Solo. A good time will be had by all. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights, April 12th. And you know what the good news about that is? Right around the corner, we've got the book fair. Hey, it gets its own jingle too. Why not? Hey, it's a huge event. It's one of our favorite events of the year. It's the Feria del Libro Madrid. May 26th to June 11th. So much going on. May 26th to June 11th, you can join us at the Retiro Park. The Retiro Park, you know it, right in the heart of Madrid. Just kidding. All right, amigos. Feria del Libro, May 26th to June 11th. Very, very exciting. Also, just remember our summer camps. You can start signing yourself or the kids up for any of our summer programs. I got to tell you something. They fill up quickly because it's a great activity you can do in the summer for parents, for kids. If you want to, get away from the kids and, relax a little bit. Well, hey, I'm just saying, as a parent, and know that they're in good hands and they're learning English and having fun. So check it out. You can find a lot of information about our summer camps and all the different things we offer here at Vaughn at our website. The website is grupovaughn.com. Go over there and check it out. I want to urge everybody, if you haven't been there in a while, to urge es instar. I want to urge you to go on over and check it out. grupovaughn.com. And you can get information about the weekend camps, the summer camps, which some of them are 2 weeks. Summer impacts, those are awesome. If you haven't heard of our summer impacts, check it out. I think the best thing to do, this is how you'll know what's going on as well, is if you follow us on social media. And if you follow us on social media, you'll know what's going on. You'll be in the know, enterados, right? You'll be in the know. You'll learn English because we're all posting content. I know myself personally, I post a video and a quiz every single day on social media. And thanks to all of you who participate in that. Yeah. Well, I know you guys love a good challenge. And speaking of, I think it's time for today's pop quiz. And I want to do the remix, so help me out. What's it called? Huh?
Quiz.
What?
Quiz. Pop quiz.
Oh, right.
Quiz.
Uh-huh. That's it.
Pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pop
Quiz. Oh. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. That's right. That's right, amigos. It's our pop quiz. This is where we look at something from social media or from one of our materials. Today, we're going to look at something from Natural English. It's new at the Vaughn Tienda. It's Tu Guía Definitiva del Inglés Natural. And what does this mean? Well, there are many ways to say things. If I say to you, tengo que levantarme temprano mañana, it's not wrong. No, you're like, okay, bien. But wouldn't it be a lot more natural to say, tengo que madrugar? Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's teaching you how to sound natural, because there are many, we know that here on the show with no name. We know that debido a your creativity as students, there are many different ways to say things. But which way do you want to say it? Well, the way we say it. That I know as somebody who's constantly learning Spanish, I want to sound like you guys. I want to walk like you, talk like you. Well, not exactly. But yeah, I like to, anytime somebody teaches me something that's, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, that's it. Totally native. Anytime somebody says something, I'm like, wait, hang on. I pull out my pen. Now, normally I don't have a pen on me, encima on me, but I pull out my pen and I write it down. I take a mental note. And I hope you guys do the same. Obviously, in this 2-hour period, we go through a lot of different vocabulary because we look at movies, we look at music. We're going to look at one of our Vaughn materials. Again, this is called Natural English. You can get it at the Vaughn Tienda. If you're patient, you can get it at the book fair coming up, in a couple months. Good weather. And usually, don't quote me, because there's always nothing lasts forever. Let's put it that way. I imagine there's going to be a 10% discount on our books at the book fair, on the normal price. That's usually the case. Again, we'll give you more details when we know them. The only thing I know is the start date, which is May 26th, and the day it ends, which is June 11th. And you know what? I'm missing something over here. Something in my diet. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know, a beet? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. All right, let's warm up a little bit over here. I want you guys to do these with me aloud, en voz alta. Okay? Let's see. The first one. Guardar rencor. Again, you don't have to write these down in the group if you guys are participating live. I prefer that you say them aloud. This is the warm-up. Okay? Ya llegaremos al temita. But we got to warm up a little bit. Hay que calentar motores. So, say it aloud. How did you just say it? No guardes rencor. Don't hold a grudge. To hold a grudge. It's unhealthy. Holding a grudge is unhealthy. Okay. Then let's go to another chapter. This comes from chapter 27, the one we just looked at, to hold a grudge when you're feeling insecure. So it gives you native ways of expressing yourself when you're feeling insecure. Okay. What about this? When you're feeling insulted, ofendido, and you say to somebody, oh man, eso fue un golpe bajo. You say it I have two ways in mind. That was a low blow, right? That was a low blow. Another way to say that is below the belt. Eso estaba por debajo de la cintura, el cinturón. Ilegal. No vale eso. Eso es jugar sucio. So that was a low blow, or that was below the belt. These are you want a totally native book, this is it right here. All right. Let's see. We've looked at that one. I'm looking at ones maybe that we haven't seen here. Okay. I think we've looked at this one. How would you say te mueres de la risa? Okay, say it aloud with me. Okay. You are in stitches. In stitches. Yeah, cuando te ponen puntas o puntos, stitches, if you like, God forbid, you get a huge gash on your arm or a cut, you'll need stitches. I've had stitches. So we've got, when you're laughing and joking, we've got kind of the gamut, un poco de todo aquí. All right? To pull someone's leg, tomarle el pelo, to be in stitches, to keep a straight face. Can you keep a straight face? Contener la risa. It's kind of like a poker face, like, I'm not laughing. Actors have to do it. We've all seen it in the outtakes. Here's another one. You guys are here every day with bells on. Yeah, that's an expression we use when we're excited. You're here with bells on. Let's look at one more in the warm-up, and then I'll give you the one that I've got chosen for you. Gafarlo. To jinx it. Don't jinx it. You jinxed it. Okay, gafarlo. This is from chapter 7. When you're feeling superstitious. I'm not superstitious. The writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. Se ve venir. No, está escrito. All right. Well, if you're interested in learning more of these awesome expressions, you can pick up your copy, tu ejemplar, of Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. All right, here's your pop quiz. Okay, how would you tell somebody te lo mereces? But I don't want you to use you deserve it. Okay, because I just gave you that one. No vale. So you got to tell me in a totally native way, in English, how you would say to somebody, pues, ¿qué esperabas? Te lo mereces. Let's do that. ¿Qué esperabas? Te lo mereces. But I don't want you deserve it como la segunda parte. I want you to give me another way to say that. And we'll take a look at that. If you guys have the book, this is from chapter 37. When you're warning someone, you'd better. Ahí sale el you'd better. Más te vale. El or else. El si no. Again, you can pick this up at Von Tienda. It's got downloadable audio, and it's natural English. Really, really good expressions. Ones that merit... That's right. They merit totally natives. Let's take a look and see who's in our virtual classroom. There's Juan. Juan says, morning, mates. What an amazing day. Oh, Juan, what a great first comment. Honestly, what an inspiration. He says, cleaning my kitchen furniture in my new rented flat while I'm listening to all of you guys. Congrats. Congrats, Juan. That's great. He's multitasking. And that's a great feeling, isn't it? When you move into a new house. And quick question, Juan. When's the housewarming party? ¿Cuándo es la fiesta de inauguración? I believe you say. The housewarming. Nosotros tenemos la fiesta para ir calentando la casa. Well, Juan, that's awesome news. A new apartment is a new chapter, a new beginning. So to new beginnings, to new chapters, Juan. Thanks for learning with us while you TCB. What? TCB? Era un favorito de Elvis. While you take care of business mientras cuidas de tus asuntos. Nice. There's Chris Valrol. Speaking of TCB, she's always taking care of business. Es una canción también. Taking care of business, working overtime, taking care of business. My life story. Chris says, morning, Alberto and Mace. Let's go. What's up, Chris? Great to have you on board. Born to Iron Man. What's up, my man? Ahora, si yo te digo my man, no te digo mi hombre. Te digo mi colega, mi amigo. Es muy americano. What's up, my man? How's it going, Born to Iron Man? Let's see. Who else? House. I get lost. Sometimes I get lost in the comments, guys. You'll have to forgive me. Sometimes I just get lost. Period. Or as the British would say, full stop. Full stop. There she is, the lovely, sweet, vivacious, lovely Vero. Te ha gustado, Vero? That's right. And don't forget about vibrant. Vero is vibrant too. And vivacious and lively. And I can't think of any other ones. Well, that's enough. I think those are some really good adjectives. And she says, good morning, beautiful people. Let's celebrate this bright day, shall we? Yeehaw. All right, Vero. Wow, you guys really have the right tude. Es una forma más modernilla de decir attitude. Lo decía medio en broma. You have the right attitude. You have a PMA, a positive mental attitude, and that'll get you anywhere in life, as you guys know. At least get you going in the right direction. Let's see. Lupe says, morning, guys, rise and shine. Did I just read it? See, I get lost. I start thinking of what I have to do, and then there's my dad. Hey, Dad, what's up? He says, good morning, Alberto, family and friends. Greetings from Greenwood Lake. Very much enjoying the snow. Yeah, I relish in the snow. What? I said I relish in the snow. Relish, pero relish no es salsa de pepinillos que pones en los hot dogs. También. So if you relish, ahí tienes un double trouble. Y no se te olvida cómo pedir eso la próxima vez que estás in New York. But I recommend you go when it's not as snowy. It's easier to get around, but it's lovely nonetheless. Oh, there's another one, Vero. Lovely, Vero. I think I used it already. Let's see. We've got Chris over here. And, oh, wait. Hang on. Hold the phone. Es para el carro. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a birthday girl. And I'll tell you something, that birthday girl is one of our students' moms, one of our awesome students' moms. So we're gonna have my daughter, mi hija. It's funny, see your daughter, tu hija ha dicho que es tu cumple, y ahora mi hija te va a cantar. My daughter's gonna sing happy birthday to you. But lo que siempre hacéis es nunca ponéis el nombre. So everyone says, mi hijo te está escuchando. And I'm like, hola, hijo de Juan Carlos's son. But if you say mi madre Pilar, then I can say, hola, Pilar. So it's okay, Chris. I get it. And you know what? Whatever your name is, Chris's mom, I'm wishing you a happy birthday. And more importantly, my daughter, Laura. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a bad father. Well, we know that Chris is a wonderful daughter, and we wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We love you.
All right. Happy birthday to Chris Valrol's mom. All right. And also Chris says, she says, it's my mom's birthday and we're going to give her a big gift because it serves she right. All right. This is a tough one. Chris, I like it. We're going to give it to you because you got the structure and it's your mom's birthday. But I should explain this. But this is great. This is why it's important to look at this stuff, okay? Because normally if we tell somebody, you deserve it, eso es el te lo mereces en el buen sentido. If we tell somebody, it serves you right, it means te lo dije, te lo mereces. So it's great. Thank you, Chris, for helping me point that out, destacar eso. But, so, y cuidado, tú has puesto, it serves she right. And it would be, it serves her right. It serves him right, right? So el it ahí coge el sujeto. So again, this is the negative, te lo mereces, te lo has buscado, te lo dije. I told you so. Es un poco frase de padre, madre, right? So speaking of, it's, okay, you got a cold. You got, te enfermaste, no? You got a cold. Well, I told you to bring a jacket with you and you didn't. So it serves you right. It serves you right. Let's see if anybody else got it over here as well. There's, she says, by the way, her name is Adelaida, like Heidi. Oh, awesome. Ahí está el nombre. Pues mi hija Lara te ha cantado, que yo creo, el mejor regalo, en mi opinión. y que tu hija se acuerda de ti. That lovely Chris remembers her mom and has decided to embarrass her, un poco avergonzarle también, but wishing you a happy birthday, Adelaida. And folks, I've got to say something. I can't believe it. We've got a celebration today. We've got so much to do on today's show. But right now, we need to take a quick commercial break. The good news, we'll be right back. And man, we've got tons of challenges, tons of fun, and tons of English learning up ahead. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, after today's show, you've got the lovely Ximena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. After that, you got the lunchtime show with Rob and Andy. Don't miss their banter. Sus conversaciones así de palique. It's two best friends shooting the shit or shooting the breeze, estando de palique. After that, you got Tosh Pasqua with Back to Basics. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Western Civilizations with Guy Williams, followed by The Salad with Dave Boys. And our buddy Kyle Miller rounds off the day with his super show, Drive Time. He will challenge you day in, day out. Te va a retar. Don't forget to download our free app, and this way you don't have to miss any of your favorite shows here on Vaughn Radio. And just a quick reminder, guys, we've got so many different collaborations. You can now learn English with Alexa. Remember, we're always open to getting feedback. So if you haven't tried that out, try it. Also, right now, we have teamed up with, hemos hecho equipo o nos hemos unido con, great word, team, hacer equipo. We have teamed up, hacer piña, it can be as well, right? We have teamed up with the one and only Oxford University. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. Podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan. That's right, folks. Oh, and by the way, speaking of institutions, schools, I'm going back to school today, folks. What? Yeah, that's right. I am going to my daughter's school today. When they have bring your parents to work and career days. Well, lately the kids have been having, if this is voluntary, the parents come in, introduce themselves, talk about their job and what they do. And today I'm going to be going to my daughter's school. She's really excited. She's going to help me out. And I'm going to tell them I'm a teacher. They know what a teacher is. They have teachers, and we'll be there with the teachers. And I'm going to tell them I teach English, but not just in a classroom. I teach English on the radio. I teach English in video format on YouTube, in books. So it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, I'll inspire the kids. And then I'm going to tell them we're going to do our very own radio program here. So I'm bringing my mixing board over here, mi mesa de mezcla, and some microphones. And after I tell them what I do, we're gonna make a little radio segment. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't normally get nervous, but I want to do well so Lara can be proud of her daddy. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do, so let's get moving with today's Say What? Say what? Yeah. It's the Say What soundbite on the show with no name. It's the Say What soundbite on the show. Oh, I thought you knew, but you know. That's right, amigos. The good news, it's not going to be as hard as yesterday's. Oh, man. Yesterday's was a motherfucker. As we say, a motherfucker. A mofo. Si no quieres ser ofensivo, puedes decir, yesterday's was a mofo. Una cabrona, una bestia. It wasn't easy. All right, folks. I wonder who we're going to hear from today. I wonder what continent they're coming from and what situation they are encountered with. The Say What soundbite. You're going to hear this 4 times. I want you guys to write down as much as you possibly can after each listen. Now, you're going to hear it twice. After the second listen, I want your observations. I want you to give me your best English. I want you to put on your tuxedo English. I don't mean formal. I mean, make it, like the book we just looked at, Natural English. Make it sound natural, okay? And sometimes I'll warn you. Sometimes I have students that have a tendency to try and use too many idioms, and then you don't sound natural. So you see, then you're like, oh, then I was up the river with a boat and no paddle. And then, then I went down and I was out and about. And so if you just say one expression after the other, then, so, as with everything, it's got to be in context. I had a student, she was funny. She would just spat out, all throughout the day, blah, blah, blah. Amazing idiomatic expressions, but nothing provoked them. There was no catalyst there. So I would say, that's Claudia. That's really nice that you know these expressions, but you don't just say, when in Rome, no, donde vieres haz lo que fueres, when nobody said anything that would make you say that. She said, well, I just wanted to show you that I know it. I'm like, okay, as long as you're just doing that in English class and you're not out there in the real world, just spatting out random expressions. If you want random, then you got Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random. All right, well, let's do it. Let's hear today's Say What soundbite. We're going to hear it for the first time. I'll give you a quick pause there, and then we'll hear it for the second time. And then I'd love to hear from you.
Oh, don't play victim with me. I have to walk in heels all day long. You get to sit in a chair and roll. You know, the quicker I can run my errands, the faster I can get home to my husband, who needs me.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. As I said, couldn't be harder than yesterday's. I think it's pretty easy in general. There might be a word or two that are difficult, but I think you guys, knowing your level, I think you guys will be able to handle it. Oh, and I just wanted to remind you guys as well, if you haven't listened to it yet, this last episode, it's already got so many downloads. So Richard Vaughn's a popular guy, it confirms. But if you haven't heard it yet, the FYI episode that came out last Friday is an interview with the one and only Richard Vaughn. Richard Vaughn.
Alberto, good morning. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here. Wow, it's an honor.
It's great to have you. I've been thinking about having you on the podcast since I started doing it, but I was just getting the hang of it, to use the expression.
Getting the hang of it, learning the ropes.
Ooh, great. We're off to a good start.
Learning
here.
the ropes, just learning how to do something.
Sure. And how do you do it? Well, by doing it over and over and over and over.
They say ignorance is bliss, but I don't follow that. I think ignorance is just ignorance.
Yeah. Ignorance
we learn
is
things
an excuse to not look
the
some,
way.
Yeah, sure. I say these days now where we have all this information at our fingertips, there's no excuse for ignorance.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. The one and only Richard Vaughn. He was here in the studio with me. I had the pleasure of interviewing him. And if you haven't heard that yet, give it a listen. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. I didn't expect anything less, and I'm not taking any of the praise, los elogios. I just produce it. I mean, he was the guest, and the guest is key, as you know. And when there is no guest, well, the content is key. And I hope you're content with the content. No, not funny. All right. I hope you're content with the content. Well, they're not pronounced the same. Like the word minute, minuto, and minute, very small. Or tear, lágrima, and tear. Or wind, with sound effects included, and wind, darle cuerda. These are certain words that, depending on their context, they'll be pronounced one way or another. Another one that I love, bass and bass. No es lo mismo una lubina que un bajo, right? For example. And I know someone from Ketama. I won't use any names here to protect the innocent. But if I tell you he plays the bass, you might know which one of the brothers he is. But he told me, he goes, he was on my show many, many years ago. This was when we were at our original offices at Virgen de Nuria. And I remember he came up to me and we were talking about instruments and music. I think I did the show on purpose, focused on music. And when I told him, I was like, bass es lubina and bass es el bajo. And he looked at me, his jaw dropped. I think you say se quedó boquiabierto, se le cayó la mandíbula, we say. His jaw literally dropped to the floor and he goes, no me jodas. Translation in English, we'd say, get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Get out of here. No me. I said, yeah, dude. He's like, I'm like, why? What's the problem? He goes, are you telling me that I've spent the last 15 to 20 years telling people I play a fish, la lubina, bass? I'm like, yeah, if that's what you've been saying. He was like, oh no, fail. But after that day, I can guarantee he said the word bass. All right, let's take a look. We've got a lot of comments coming in over here, and let's get some music going while we're at it. I like to get just a little vibe going here on the show, and yeah, it's chill. That's a nice vibe. Let's see. We've got Juan. He says, thank you, Alberto. A new party is coming. And it's supposed to be a stunning event. And you're right. This is a new beginning. Glad to hear you. Awesome, Juan. I'm expecting my invite in the mail. And I will RSVP. What? RSVP. Responde, s'il vous plaît. Confirmar mi asistencia. Es un verbo regular. We say, I already RSVP'd. So many people wishing Christina's mom a happy birthday. Adelaida, happy birthday. Leonardo says, you think you are not worthy of the punishment, but you have it coming. Oh, nice. Good. Great one. Esto es te lo mereces. Te lo buscabas. You had it coming. Excellent. Excellent. Wow. Impressive. Let's see. Nihad says, for you, who is the mother of my great Chris, I wish you a beautiful and remarkable birthday. Congrats. Oh, awesome. Chris, there she is. She says, thanks, Alberto. I had a hunch that I was using the expression wrong. Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. Now you won't. You know, it's like the bass and the bass. Once you learn it, you know it. Okay, let's take a look. Anybody participating here? That's strange. I didn't think the Say What soundbite was that difficult. Well, did I play it for you a second time? I don't even remember now. Man, I am really losing my mind. Well, I got a lot on my mind. As you guys know, I'm a little bit nervous. Well, you know what? I'm going to give it to you another time just in case, because you know what? Because I like you. You guys are good people.
Oh, don't play victim with me. I have to walk in heels all day long. You get to sit in a chair and roll. You know, the quicker I can run my errands, the faster I can get home to my husband, who needs me.
All right, there you go, folks. And if you get an extra listen, well, guess what? Take it as an extra listen. Let's see. Nihad says, a woman with an American accent is scolding someone. Great vocabulary. Echando una bronca. Reprimanding. A woman with an American accent is scolding someone for playing the victim by asking her to sit down and do her job because she is tired from so much work and her husband needs it too. All right, Nihad, interesting. You got a lot of information there. And if nobody else is participating, well, you know what we've got to do, folks. It's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our Spelling Bee only on the Show with No Name. And this first round here is OTSS, baby. Only the strong survive. This is brutal. I'm telling you, and I tell you every day, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, I highly doubt I would get them if I had to write down, you know, if I had to listen to myself on the first round and write them down, to put myself in your shoes, I don't think I would get them. And again, not because of my lack of English, because, you know, sometimes I'm just distracted. I'm what we call absent-minded, ausente de mente. Sí que existe, es torpe, pero mentalmente hablando. Let's see, Chris participating in the Say What soundbite. Then we'll take a look, and then we'll move on to the Spelling Bee. Chris says, I heard a woman, and I'd say she's American. She's talking to someone to stop playing the victim, i.e. the victim, because she has better things to do. Save the drama for your mama. Great job, Nihad and Chris. Wonderful job. All right, it's time for round one of today's Spelling Bee. As always, I'm going to spell these 6 words for you, and I am going to go Usain Bolt. Insane Bolt. All right, the first one, let's do this. The first one doesn't have to be capitalized, but let's just capitalize all of them for the sake of, por el bien de, for the sake of easiness. Okay? Is everybody ready? The first one is EASTERNMOST. The second one is NEW space ENGLAND. The third one is NEW space HAMPSHIRE. The fourth one is GULF space MAINE. The fifth one is NEW space BRUNSWICK. And the sixth one is QUEBEC. What? I told you. I warned you. I can give you a little clue. It's not going to help you very much, but let's get in the mood. I think it's important to get into the right mood when you're preparing to go visit a certain place. Oh, yeah, today we're going to travel in our spelling bee. We're going to go to an American state, the 23rd U.S. state, el 22º, el 23. Esos me cuestan, eh? The Roman numerals there, the ordinals, as they're called. All right. Now, I know that's not a big clue, but, well, hey, if I told you the 23rd state, you could definitely look it up. And ladies and gentlemen, unfriggin' believable. This guy is made of steel. He's made of iron. He's Iron Man. It's perfect. Perfect job. That is impeccable and fast. And again, dude, hats off. It depends. You'd have to catch me on a good day. I'll tell you this: pre-coffee, no way in hell would I get it. Once I've had a coffee or two, I have no excuses, as my buddy Fitz says. All right, well, here we go again. This time, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to be a jerk. Una persona mala, una mala persona. Round 2. The first word in the spelling bee is EASTERNMOST. The second one is NEW space ENGLAND. The third one is NEW space HAMPSHIRE. The fifth one, GULF space MAINE. The fifth one is NEW space BRUNSWICK. And the sixth one is QUEBEC. All right, there you go, my amigos. Those are your 6 words in today's spelling bee. We've got Chris Valrol, who's also got them, and they look perfect as well. Unbelievable. A nice round of applause to our super duper. Our super show with no namers. That is impressive. And I'm going to be honest with you. You can go outside of the show with no name, and you'll see most of Spain is not that good at spelling in English. I'll tell you that right now. I know it from experience. So you guys are definitely playing in the big leagues, as I taught you in Primera. You're definitely playing in the big leagues. It's not just admirable. It's also remarkable, notable. Estamos con muchos bulls, ¿no? Muchos toritos. All right, well, today in 1820, Maine was admitted as the 23rd state of the United States. Maine. Now, when I think of Maine, I think of the top corner of the United States on the East Coast. So Maine, it's beautiful up there. It's the North Atlantic. So you can imagine they have some really good seafood. As you guys know, marisco, really good seafood comes from cold water, right? That's what they say. I'm no expert, okay? And Maine is just, it's known for its natural beauty as well. So you get just all kinds of different trees and forests. There are many national parks in Maine as well. And what else? Famous for its rocky coastline. Okay. Rocky is rocosa, makes sense. Coastline is litoral. I always get confused there. Pristine forests, so impecables, preciosos. And out, obviously, when you have forests and you have lakes and you have also rocky coastline, well, I think you can do a lot of outdoor activities, as you can imagine. Also, there are many lighthouses. When I think of Maine, too, I think of lighthouses, faros. Also, when you think of Maine, you think of Maine lobster, langosta de Maine. What was I saying before? Seafood. Well, the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, is Maine lobster. And what else? As I said before, outdoor activities, camping, fishing, kayaking, and all that jazz. Oh, and one that I've never done, maybe some of you have done it, but whale watching is another thing you can do over in Maine. But folks, right now, I can't believe it, we have to take a quick commercial break. The good news, we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Don't forget, you got amazing programs here to help you learn English and to keep you entertained. You can learn about history, music, linguistics, culture, art, and all of that stuff in English here on Vaughn Radio. All right, amigos, we have so much to do here. So much. So let's get this show on the road. Pongámonos en marcha. Let's get this show on the road, my amigos. I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. This is the third listen. Please write down what you hear.
Oh, don't play victim with me. I have to walk in heels all day long. You get to sit in a chair and roll. You know, the quicker I can run my errands, the faster I can get home to my husband, who needs me.
All right, there you go, amigos. There you go. That was the third listen. I think it's relatively easy today. I could be wrong. All right, well, what have we got to do here? We've got to take a look at our spelling bee. We're going to take a look at Maine. In fact, my dad's got some stuff to say about Maine, but let's get in the right mood again. There we go. My dad says, I went to a wedding in Maine. We slept under the most beautiful, starry night you can imagine. The entire wedding group stayed overnight, including the bride and the groom. Really good vocabulary, Dad. The bride, la novia, the groom, el novio. If you want to learn more about that, there's an FYI episode on weddings. Yeah, I do. I remember. And also, Dad, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we have to refuel once in Bangor, Maine, at an airport there? I think I recall having, when we were crossing one of our transatlantic crossings when I was a kid, and I could swear we had to refuel, which is, I guess it's important, right? In Bangor, Maine. Am I losing my mind, Dad? Confirm that. He says the natural beauty of Maine is pristine. Great. Yeah. I've been up there. I haven't spent much time there, but Vermont, I mean, the northeast of the United States is gorgeous, gorgeous. Chris says, oh, now I'm dying to go. Oh, you would love it. If you love the outdoors, I know Chris loves the outdoors. It's right up your alley. All right, so today in 1820, it was admitted as the 23rd state. And it's a state, one of the few states, not including Alaska, where you can do some whale watching, ver ballenas, which, again, there aren't too many places in the world where you can do something. You can do a lot of natural activities in a lot of different places, but that's just, the creme de la creme. That's a fascinating animal that we don't often get to be near because they're so elusive. At least the blue whales I know are very elusive. And by the way, there's an episode of FYI on whales. Ew. All right, let's take a look then. The first word was easternmost. And what I did is I went to Wikipedia and I punched in Maine, and I'm just taking words right out of the dictionary here, the definition. So it is the easternmost state. Easternmost, más al este. The northernmost state, if you don't count Alaska, okay? It's the northern, pero es para que oigas. Easternmost, northernmost, westernmost, southernmost. Ves lo que no cambia ahí, right? El most. Then the next one I gave you is New England. So it's the easternmost state in the New England region. And what is New England? The whole area is beautiful. But New England is a region comprising 6 states. You've got Connecticut, Maine, the one we're talking about, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. You know, it's New Hampshire. It's sure. I'll go there. I bet New Hampshire's great for ski. Another natural paradise, New Hampshire. All these states are beautiful. Rhode Island, I've never been to. Dad, I think you've been to Rhode Island. And Vermont, that's probably like the snowboarder skiers paradise on the East Coast. So New England, I think my dad can attest to it. A gorgeous, very different than California, at least Southern California, but it's such a unique, beautiful, rocky coast. It's the North Atlantic, which is, she's a beast. So New England, beautiful area in the United States. Then I said the Gulf of Maine, and it's because it borders on the southeast. It borders the Gulf of Maine. It borders New Hampshire to the west, and New Brunswick in Canada, and Quebec to the northeast and northwest, respectively. Now, it's easier to just look at a map, obviously, but I wanted to give you guys some of that vocabulary, right? Easternmost, northernmost. And the most populous city in Maine is Portland, Maine. I didn't know that. I think of Portland, Oregon. I didn't think of Portland, Maine. And the capital is Augusta. Oops, I forgot about that. They call it the Pine Tree State, el Estado del Pino. They call it Vacation Land. And, well, they've even got their own anthem, su propio himno. Let's see. My dad says, yes, we did. That's the first American airport of you. There was a problem crossing the Atlantic, and we flew your favorite, the 757. See, I didn't want to go into detail, but my memory told me it was the 757, which is right behind me, by the way. I'm always surrounded by the things and the people I love. That's the idea in life, right? So I've got planes, Buzz Lightyear. I've got a globe because I love to travel and see the world. I love New York. And, I've loved Spain, the United States. You can see, take a look around. If you're watching this show, which is crazy. I would have never thought in a million years when I started doing this radio show that you guys would be able to watch, okay, we had the technology, I guess, but it wasn't, you needed the gig. Movistar was giving you un giga, whatever. Now we're living in a different world these days where there's so much communication that's done over the internet. But it's incredible. I never would have imagined, you could listen to amazing quality video and audio at the same time of this show. And remember, you can participate in many of our shows on Vaughn Radio. Are participative. Toma palabra, participative. Uy, 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 uy. What else? So yeah, I gave you all the information. I was just kind of telling you where all the different places that border this amazing state called Maine. All right, well, it's time to move on to Name That Movie. Name That Movie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Name That Movie, and I freaking love this movie. I was talking about it the other day, and then I started watching some scenes from it, and it brought me right back to my childhood. It brought me right back to 1985, the same year Back to the Future came out. And this, as far as I'm concerned, okay, Back to the Future is Back to the Future, but this is a cult classic. This is great. Maybe I don't know if it was that popular in Spain. Well, you guys can tell me now. Let me give you the trailer, the synopsis first. I'm not going to give you the person's name. The person's name is in the synopsis. So I'll change his name to Chapote. Okay. So When eccentric man-child Chapote gets his beloved bike stolen in broad daylight, he sets out across the U.S. on the adventure of his life. All right? I've changed the name because if I give you the name, I'm giving you the title, at least in English. So when eccentric man-child, so eccentric, raro, céntrico, right? Man-child es un hombre que se porta como un niño. Very annoying people, usually. Oh, you're like, calm down, act like an adult for just a second. I'm not saying you don't have, you can act like a kid sometimes, right? And so man-child, Chapote, gets his beloved bike stolen, su querido, amado bicicleta robado, in broad daylight. And the word broad is amplio, Broadway, vía amplia, but broad daylight, en pleno luz de día, in broad daylight. And he sets out, emprende, no? Excursiona. He sets out across the U.S. on the adventure of his life. And this is actually a good movie since there's a scene where they're on a lot of the movie occurs on a road trip. It's a good way to see the United States. That's another way to see the United States. Until you can cross the pond, you can see it in our movies. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the movie queen. She's the movie queen. Oh, yeah. Chris Valrol. Awesome job, Chris. Awesome. The movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure, starring Paul Rubens as the character that made him famous, Pee-wee Herman. Now, question, was Pee-wee Herman popular here? Because in the States, he was all the rage. Él era lo más. Kids liked him, like my kid, teenagers liked him, people my age. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And he was, as I said, he was this guy. Take a look, Pee-wee Herman. And he wore a gray suit. He wore a red bow tie. And he was a character that this guy, Paul Rubens, came up with. Paul Rubens is an actor. You've probably seen him in many movies. Si buscas, el actor es Paul Rubens. And the character is Pee-wee Herman. And he has, as I said, a gray suit that's like very tight fitting and a red bow tie. And he acts like a complete idiot. Okay. Man, child, or there are children and then there are children who are, he's that one. Okay. And that's the point, though. That's why he was lovable. People said, this guy, what is wrong with it? But they liked him and he was popular. And he had a kid show every morning. He had a series of movies. And this was a huge movie, and it was directed by the one, the only Tim Burton. No, Tim Burton. Tim Burton directed this movie. So just to give you an idea, it's going to be twisted. Retorcido. Well, his style, right? So right there, that should make you want to see it. It's Tim Burton. Y si sois fans, como yo, if you're a Tim Burton fan and his twisted worlds that he creates, then you're going to love this movie. It stars Phil Hartman as well. He was also one of the writers. He was a guy on Saturday Night Live. It was also written by Paul Rubens, the guy who plays Pee-wee Herman. And it's just a fun adventure of a movie. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a scene with a character called Large Marge. Okay, she's a trucker, a truck driver. And I don't want to give you too much about what happens here, but it's one of the best scenes. It is one of the best scenes. Oh, and I forgot to tell you this. The music is awesome. The music is Danny Elfman. Do you guys know Danny Elfman? Oingo Boingo, that group? He's awesome. Listen, it's a very fun, adventurous music, and it goes very well with the movie. And it's quite interesting because the movie has everything. It has a love story. It has a best friend and confidant. It has, an inciting incident. An inciting incident es algo que arranca la acción de la película. Todo es normal. ¿Y qué pasa? Oh my God, nuclear war. Done. Now the movie started. All right. Ahora tardan 2 horas en llegar al inciting incident. No lo entiendo. But what did they do? Well, Paul Rubens, the guy who played this character and made him very popular, and Phil Hartman, very, very talented. I'm sure if you look at his face, you'll be like, este tío. Yes. And they had never written a screenplay before. They all worked as actors. They were comedians. They had written sketches, but they'd never written a screenplay. So they purchased a book. They bought a book called How to Write Screenplays by a guy named Sid Field. Check it out. And they followed the book to a T, a pie de la letra. They followed the formula. And as a result, this movie is often used in screenwriting classes to show what a perfect movie is. So it's incredible. And the film is 90 minutes long. The script is 90 pages long. The first act ends at page 30, the 30-minute mark. The second act ends at page 60, the 60-minute mark. So it's like a formula that they did, and it worked. The movie is thoroughly entertaining. It's funny. There are, moments of just madness in general. And it's one of these movies that takes you on an adventure. One of these movies that takes you out of your everyday existence, which sometimes that's fun, right? I guess that's why Harry Potter and The Lord of the Stones and King of Thrones, I think that's why all these are popular, because people just want to be taken to another place. Because if you turn on the news, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about you, but I know what's going on in the world, but I don't need to be reminded of it every day. I keep up. Me mantengo al día, but I don't need to be reminded every single day, oh, it's burn, everything's burning. Also, the bike is really the main character. As I said, he spends the whole movie trying to recover, to get back his stolen bike. And they built 10 to 12, so I guess let's go with 11 bicycles for the movie. And they were built by the Pedal Pusher Bike Shop. This is in Newport Beach, California. This is a very famous bike shop, and after the movie, it got even more famous. And they were given a choice, una elección. They were offered 10 grand, $10,000, and no screen credit, pero no sale el nombre de your establishment, doesn't show up on screen, en pantalla, or no money and just screen credit. The shop chose the money. Well, either way, I think, how people, they didn't expect this, the producers of the movie, that once a movie becomes very popular, people do their research. And they didn't know IMDb. Obviously, this was in the 1980s. There was no internet really available in every home. So they didn't think of that, like, okay, in the future, there will be a behind the scenes, a making of, and people say, oh, actually, we filmed that over here. This was filmed at the Newport Beach. And then these places, as with any place, think of all the places in Spain where movies have been filmed. It makes them more popular. They become more, oh, this is from Game of Thrones, or this is from whatever the series may be called. Let's see. Chris says, I haven't watched it. I don't know if Pee-wee was popular here. I can't remember him, but I love Tim Burton. Oh, no. Chris, you would definitely remember this guy. And then there's a famous scene where he does the tequila dance. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Tequila! There's a famous dance. We used to do it in school all the time. This was like I'm telling you, a cult classic in the United States. I'll warn you, it's Tim Burton, but if you've seen anything by Tim Burton, it's twisted. But it's twisted and fun. And it's a movie, I don't know. Yeah, you can even watch it with kids, I think, All right, let's take a look then at this scene. This is, I remember, a scene that we all used to repeat over and over and over in high school. And Pee-wee is hitchhiking in the scene. Pee-wee es enanito también. Si le dices, hey, Pee-wee, right? It's another way of saying, hey, pequeñajo. So Pee-wee has been picked up by a trucker. Okay, a trucker, un camionero, una camionera. He was hitchhiking, haciendo autostop, and he gets into the truck, and he goes, "Some night, huh? Vaya noche, some night, huh?" Es otra forma de decir, "What a night." Oh, what a night. And Large Marge, the big, large truck driver, says, "On this very night, 10 years ago, on this very night, on this same stretch of road, in a dense fog, just like this, I saw the worst accident I ever seen. There was this sound like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, cuando sacaron el cadáver, el cuerpo, when they pulled the driver's body from the twisted, torcido, burning wreck, and a wreck is desastre, accidente. It looked like this. And then all of a sudden, Pee Wee Herman turns to her and she makes this totally crazy, grotesque face, a face that you would only see in a Tim Burton movie. Well, it may be in other movies, but it's so Tim Burton-esque. And he goes, "Ah!" And then she says, "Yes, sir. The worst accident I've ever seen." And then she drops him off at a bar. This isn't over here, but I'll tell you. She drops him off at a bar. And when he closes the door of the 18-wheeler, el camión este, she says, "Tell him Large Marge sent you." And when he walks into the bar, it's lively. No, está vivo, hay mucha vida. And he walks in and he goes, "Hey, guys, Large Marge sent me." And then it goes silent. You can hear a pin drop. Excellent movie. It's called Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Time to move on to homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. And homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Show with no name. Show it homophones.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to look at two words. I'm going to give you the words in Spanish. I want you to give me the words in English, and then I want you to tell me if these two words sound identical, exactly the same, that if you didn't have context, you wouldn't know what the heck I was saying. All right. The first word is, let me look it up. I just want to make sure. I think I know it in Spanish, but you know what? It's always good to double check. To double check es revisarlo otra vez de nuevo. Okay, yes, melena. So it's what a lion has around its head. It's also cuando decimos a alguien que necesita un corte de pelo. Tienes que cortar esas melenas. So it means it in the literal. I think you say the same thing, right? In español. So in the sense of a lion, and I'm not lying. Okay, there was another homophone for you. All right. And the second word is a very common word. I'm sure it's a word you've used before. A lot of my students say the principal reason. And I say, no digas eso. Hay otra palabra que es principal y solo es una sílaba. It's a lot easier. And that's our second word. So the first word is melena. In the literal sense, in nature, a lion has a melena, and also somebody whose hair has gotten very long. All right, we'll take a look at that and so much more. But right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, my amigos. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you'll join us in the fourth and final part of today's show. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. You guys are doing an awesome job. I don't think anybody got the Say What soundbite yet. Where are you, Laura? I said your name before instead of my daughter's. Oh, my God. As I said, it's not because I don't know my daughter's name. It's because I'm a space case. I'm absent-minded, as we said before. And amigos, just a quick reminder, you've got a brand spanking new episode of FYI coming out this Friday. As always, this Friday, the one and only Fitz from No Excuses. He will join me on the show and tell us all about St. Patrick's Day. And he'll also dispel some of the myths. Because as an American who celebrates St. Patrick's Day, I want to know how much of it is really Irish and how much of it has been Americanized or Spanishized, or because as we know, St. Patrick's is not an Irish holiday, not anymore. It's a global holiday. Okay, it's theirs. But if you can find a continent or a city where they don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, good luck, which is great. It means you can celebrate it all around the world. I hope you'll join us in this week's episode with a cold pint of the black stuff. As Fitz says, the black stuff. What's the black stuff? Well, the black stuff is Guinness, of course. All right, let's take a look. We've got to solve our homophones over here. The first one to participate today is Jesus. And those are the correct words, Jesus. Good job. And he says they're homophones. All right, Chris, she says the correct words, and she says they're homophones, I think. Leonardo's sure of it. Lo tiene clarísimo. Vero says they're homophones to me, but then she put up the emoji of her scratching her chin. Rascando la barbilla. She's scratching her chin saying, am I 100% sure? I mean, could be. Well, let's do what we always do in this section. And I'm going to tell you the words, okay? And we'll look at other meanings and all that jazz. So the first word is mane. A lion has a mane. If I'm not mistaken, a lioness doesn't have a mane. besides their penis. Isn't this how you can tell them apart? Either way, I wouldn't get close enough to a lion where you can see if it has a penis or a vagina. Not recommendable. Even if it's sleeping. I just wouldn't do it. And I'm not lying. I know. Save it for the joke section. I know. Okay. So lions have a mane. Mane. Okay. M-A-N-E. Mane. And also, if somebody's got long hair, oh man, I got to get this mane cut. Okay. It's a way of saying melena. Mane. M-A-N-E. And the second word, M-A-I-N. Well, the main difference between the elephants, aside from their genitals, is the mane. The mane is the main difference. Excellent job, Jesus, Chris, Leo, and Vero. What a wonderful job you did in the homophone section. I'm still waiting to see if somebody figures out our say what soundbite over here. Let me give it to you. I think I can't, guys, I'm losing my head. Well, here it is. This is the say what soundbite for the fourth time. Good luck.
Oh, don't play victim with me. I have to walk in heels all day long. You get to sit in a chair and roll. The quicker I can run my errands, the faster I can get home to my husband, who needs me.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was your last chance. And right now it's time for double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
Rebota, rebote, tu culo explota.
That's right, folks. I'm rubber, you're glue in English. From time to time, I like to slip it in there. All right, well, folks, here it is, today's double trouble. Good luck to each and every one of you. I think it's going to be easy compared to, I think, again, yesterday we just had a triple trouble. Yesterday we listened to Einstein. So, man, not easy at all. But let's see what you guys come up with in today's double trouble. Si crees que voy a hacer senderismo contigo, con esa actitud, te puedes ir a tomar viento. A freír espárragos? Say it however you want. You know what I mean. Te puedes largar. Right? So, si crees que voy a hacer senderismo contigo, con esa actitud, te puedes ir a tomar viento. That is your double trouble. We were talking about Maine before. We looked at 3 words that sound like that now. Maine, el estado, Maine principal, and Maine melena. So, si crees que voy a hacer senderismo contigo, con esa actitud, te puedes ir a tomar viento, te puedes ir a freír espárragos. One way to say it in English, te lo doy. Go fly a kite. Vete a volar. Piénsalo, tomar viento. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Volar una cometa. Go fly a kite. Okay? You guys probably know it from Mary Poppins. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest heights. Right. Anybody? Or else I'm going to keep singing. Hey, you be the judge. And you're going to tell me, Alberto, go fly a kite. All right. Anybody? The birds are going to participate. All right. Hang on. There's our buddy Leo to the rescue. And Leo says, if you think I'm going hiking with you, with that attitude, take a hike. Ladies and gentlemen, our poet, Awesome job, Leo. He says, if you think, si tú crees, if you think I'm going hiking with you, voy a hacer senderismo contigo. Y muy bien, lo que hemos visto aquí, cómo se usan el go más la actividad, to go snowboarding, to go hiking, to go kayaking. We looked at a lot of these before when we talked about Maine. So if you think I'm going to go hiking with you, with that attitude, y acuérdense, no es actitude, it's con te, attitude, take a hike. Vete a tomar viento. Awesome job, Leo. You nailed it. And now for an amazing reward, you're joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right. That's right, folks. You're joking, only on the show with no name. And Vero says, if you think I'm going hiking with you with that attitude, take a hike. Nice job, Vero. You got it as well. All right, folks. Well, let's take a look at some of my amazing jokes. Hey, we got like a nature-based show today. Since we were talking about the 23rd state, I figured we could have a little brook in the background or a creek. We looked at this word the other day, Dawson's Creek. Another way to say a creek, a brook, right? Un riachuelo, no, es pequeñito. As you can hear, usually a creek or a brook usually flows over little rocks. Where I grew up, there were tons of brooks and creeks. I grew up in a mountainous area, and I lived on a street called West Brook, just to give you an idea how many brooks there were. So I spent my life, jumping from, rock to rock and falling. You know how many times I've fallen into a brook or at least my foot, well, it happens. That's when you learn that moss is slippery. Que el moho es resbaladizo. That stuff that grows on the rocks and it grows on the trees as well. So I love hiking. I've got to say, I'm a big, big fan of hiking and anything that is outdoorsy. What? Outdoorsy. Que tenga que ver con fuera. Es un adjetivo. Es outdoors, añadiendo una Y. Outdoorsy. All right, well, let's take a look at our jokes and see if you guys get them. If you don't get them, don't worry at all. I'm going to explain them right afterwards. So, what was the name of the DJ turned hiker's latest track? Okay, so what was the name of, fácil, the DJ que se ha convertido en? So, DJ turned, eso pasa muchas veces en medio de tu vida. I'm just going to do something different. I want to change careers. So that would be tal convertido en tal, right? I don't know if you would say that. But in English, I'm trying to explain it in English. And so DJ turned hiker. He was a lawyer turned actor. Ya, pues cambio de profesión, okay? So what was the name of the DJ turned hiker's latest track, su último pista? Easy. Trail mix. No. Trail mix? No. All right. Well, a mix, and un remix, a mix, that one, right? Mezclar música, pistas. And trail es un camino, un sendero. So what is trail mix? Well, trail mix es un surtido. It says here surtido rico. But you want me to tell you what trail mix is? Es lo que te dan con el gin tonic. I don't drink hard liquor and a little rum, maybe a rum and coke or a mojitos, maybe. But I'm not a big drinker. But I do know that when you order a gin and tonic, a lot of times they give you some corn nuts, kikos, some peanuts, some cashews, anacardos, no arándanos. And there's little candies in there, maybe little pieces of chocolate or something. That's called trail mix. So do you get it? The DJ turned hiker. What was the name of his latest track? The trail mix. La mezcla, el remix de la tal. O esto, you know why they call it trail mix? Because supposedly nuts, chocolate, it can give you energy quickly and you can store that energy. I'm no expert. This is what they say. This is why many people, it's got granola. It's things that give you energy when you need them. And, you don't have to carry around a steak, un chuletón. So, yeah, but did you hear that DJ? It's going well for him because he went on Detour last year. He went on Detour de gira. He went on a detour. A detour es una desviación. He went on Detour last month. Detour. We're going to take a detour. Los británicos dicen diversion, que es buenísimo. Yo he visto muchos españoles ir a Inglaterra y hacer la típica foto. Diversión por aquí. We call it a detour. De hecho, hay un DJ que me gusta, Danny Tenaglia, and I used to go see him in New York when he was spinning, pinchando is to spin, and he had an album and a night that he did called The Detour. Danny Tenaglia Tour. So, all right. What do you call paths that make you smile? What do you call paths, caminos, que te hacen reír? No, sonreír, I should say, because reír is laugh. So what do you call trails that make you smile? Oh, easy. Happy trails to you. Happy trails. Senderos, caminos felices. Well, happy trails is a way of saying to somebody, buen viaje, buenos caminos. I don't know what the exact equivalent, but it's a song. Happy trails. I know Richard Vaughn has sung it many times. To you until we meet again. Happy trails. Okay, bad joke. Last one, though. I got one more for you. Did you hear about the outgoing hiker? Yeah. Outgoing, gregarious, friendly. Did you hear about the outgoing hiker? No es que salía muy, bueno, tiene sentido, outgoing, pero es extrovertido. Yeah, well, they say he was a social climber. No. The outgoing hiker, el senderista, ¿cómo se dice? Amigable, majo. I said the word before, extrovertido. He was a social climber. Era un escalador social. Era un trepa. I think you say trepar. A social climber. Estás intentando subir en una empresa, en whatever. You're trying to get your status up in some way, right? A social climber. I think I've heard the word trepa as that word in Spanish. Well, in English, a social climber is somebody who will do anything to get promoted or to be looked at in good favor by the bosses and everybody. Okay. It's okay until you start stepping on other people's toes, right? So did you hear about the outgoing hiker? He was a social climber. All right. Fine. Don't throw stones at me here, guys. Those stones are there to mark our trails. And right now, we've got to go to another section. We're going to take another route, and we're going to famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And I can't believe it. We've only got about 6 or 7 minutes left here. So we're going to make every second count, my amigos. The first person celebrating a birthday today was born in 1963. 1963, an American musician. And he was, or he still is, the lead singer of the group Poison. Now we're going to know who's from my generation. Yeah, well, today, it's crazy. We're going back to the 80s today. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Poison. They're a glam metal band that was formed in 1983. They've got some cool songs, some really good ballads. They're from Pennsylvania. And, I think the lead singer still tours. I know he's been in the media. This guy's been in the media lately, but they've got some great songs. If you're not familiar with this band, you got it. They were huge in the States. Some of their best songs, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, just like every night has its dawn. I won't forget you, babe. They're very melodical, glam rock songs. Nothing But a Good Time, Fallen Angel, Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll, Unskinny Bop, Something to Believe In. I'm serious. They got some. I'm realizing right now how much of a Poison fan I still am. Number 2, This Guy's Not Gonna Take It. No, he ain't gonna take it. He's the lead singer of Twisted Sister. Today, we're really going back to the 80s. Oh, and by the way, Twisted Sister were in the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. See what I did there? Today's show rocks. If you're into glam rock or hair bands, as we call them, then you're going to love this one. And this guy was, he seemed like, you see him and he dresses up like a clown in his stage persona. But when you hear him speak, he's a pretty intelligent dude, which is interesting because, it teaches you not to judge a book by its cover. And last but not least, she was born in 1975, an American actress, producer, and director. She played Gabrielle Solis on Desperate Housewives from 2004 to 2012. Oh my God, I watched that show religiously. I'm totally kidding. I've never seen an episode of it. But I know that it got rave reviews, que le encantó a los críticos, a la gente en general. What else? The Sentinel. She's been in many movies. Over Her Dead Body, The Sentinel. What else can we say about her? She was born in Corpus Christi, Texas, today in 1975, and Mexican parents to Mexican parents. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner here. Give it up for Chris Valrol. Happy birthday to her mom, Brett Michaels from Poison, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, and last but not least, Eva Longoria. And this is Eva Longoria in Desperate Housewives. That was today's Say What soundbite. Monse, that one was for you. I'm not saying you're a desperate housewife. I'm saying you like series. You got to be careful what you say these days. And this is crazy. I guess she's not a very nice character because there's somebody in a wheelchair and she parks in a handicapped spot. And she's claiming her husband is blind. I don't know if that's true or if she's making it up. I don't know the plot of the series. But she goes, "Don't play victim with me." She's telling a guy in a wheelchair. No hagas el víctima conmigo. I have to walk in heels all day long. Yo tengo que estar en tacones todo el día. You get to sit in a chair. Tú estás ahí sentado en tu silla de ruedas. Oh, my God. And he's looking at her like, I can't believe you're saying this. Aloud. And she goes, and roll. Y rodear por ahí. The quicker I can run my errands, cuanto más rápido puedo hacer mis recados, the faster I can get home to my husband who needs me. So here is Eva Longoria, the birthday girl in Desperate Housewives.
Oh, don't play victim with me. I have to walk in heels all day long. You get to sit in a chair and roll. The quicker I can run my errands, the faster I can get home to my husband who needs me.
All right, folks, and time for Name That Lyric.
Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Wonderful job to each and every one of you. Individually, collectively, I'm proud of you guys. Keep up the wonderful work. Remember, next you can test your English with the lovely Ximena Holiday and Nacho, two of my close personal friends. And folks, I love this song that I've chosen today. I'll give you it. It's Poison. And it's, I won't forget you, babe. I won't forget you. Even though I should have, yeah. I won't forget you, babe. I won't forget you. So if you want to look at the lyrics with me, let's look at them really quickly and then we'll sing it together. He says, late at night, I close my eyes. As I said, they have a lot of ballads. Esto es una balada. And I think of how things could have been. Como podían haber sido las cosas. And I think of how things could have been. And when I look back, igual, cuando miro hacia atrás, I remember some words you had said to me. Me acuerdo de algunas palabras que me habías dicho. It's better to have lost at love than never to have loved at all. And then the chorus, el estribillo, comes in. I won't forget you, babe. I won't forget you. As I said before, Poison songs are very melodic, and I hope you'll sing along with me. Thank you so much for being here today and every day, my amigos. It's an absolute pleasure, and we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Yeah. Here we go. Late at night, I close my eyes.